Good evening, softball fans, and welcome here to Mork Softball Field here at Ed Cruzy Stadium. My name is Sydney Cox, and we'll be going through Game 1 of the three-game series here between number 19 St. Thomas Celts and your number 8 Texas Lutheran University Bulldogs. And to get things started, we'll go ahead and take a quick look at the defense here, as we will see Caitlin Howard, the number 1 arm for the Bulldogs, on the mound. And then going from right to left, we have Brianna Jones at third, Chesley Swisher short, Kaylee Clark at second, and Grace Bracken at first base. And then out in the outfield, we have Riley Davila in left, Harley Russell in center, and Taylor Vanette in right. And behind the plate is Katie Bauer. So here we are, a lot of new names. Today was a day where I definitely had to write more first names. But hopefully by the end of the weekend, we'll get things going, as none other than the queen herself, Rebecca Archibald, leads things off here for the Celts. How she is still playing on this Celts team, I don't know, but she's here, and I'm sure Coach Frobase is very happy to have her back. As the first pitch she sees from Howard is in for a strike. Archibald, at this point, surely she's a senior by this point. It says she is, but I wonder if it's a fifth-year senior. But she's been a great player for this team here, has led them through so many ups and downs. 3-time All-SCAC first-team honoree. And rightfully so. She really is a great leadoff hitter. Currently second in the SCAC in stolen bases. I'm curious to see how that is going to evolve throughout the season. And Howard gets her swinging on the outside part of the plate for the first out of the inning. Howard has just pumped me up, to be honest with you. You know, from her freshman year where maybe she might have seen 10 innings to now last year getting some more. And then this year, like, she's the it girl. And it's been really fun to watch. As now number 8, Savannah Henkin, is in. Starting center fielder for the Celts. Henkin, another lefty hitter. And she'll take strike 2 from Howard. And I think the great thing about Howard, too, is I've personally been able to see her confidence grow throughout the years, starting as maybe a little nervous freshman to just, I don't know, she looks like she owns it out there. And it's fun to watch. A couple alumni in the building as well. So I see Skylar Ouellette, Sydney Ouellette, Sarah Metzer, and Ashlyn Strother. And that pitch, good spot there, and umpire was going to say it misses the corner, so the count's now 1-2. She's going to chop that one to the third baseman, and it'll go in and out of her glove. And that's going to go down as an E5. That ball just popped right out of the glove of Brianna Jones. And now bringing up a big bat here, Chloe Bennett. Already, I mean, we're in the second, third week of play, and she leads Division III in RBIs with 13, so we know that she can bring them in. She's another player who, I mean, Coach Fro is definitely glad to have back this year. Change up from Howard, misses low. A lot of new faces out there on defense for the Bulldogs, including that with Katie Bauer behind the plate. I'm curious to see what her arm looks like and if she will be tested by Henkin over at first base. Now we're working with a 2-1 count. And that one's going to be grounded to Swisher at short, who is going to turn it, get the out at 2, but not in time for the out at 1. So that's going to be a fielder's choice there for Chloe Bennett. As now Samantha Crumrin will take her bat and try and keep this inning alive here for the Celts. She's 313 so far in this season, has started all 5 games, as that is blooped into the outfield. And a great play there by Kaylee Clark, showing off the range there, as the Celts will go down with no runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 runner left on base as we head into the bottom of the first. Welcome back here in the bottom of the first inning. None other than Kaylee Clark leading things off here for the Bulldogs, as she is facing Victoria Sosaman. Appears we had some issues shutting the door in the press box here. That was a little loud. And she's going to drop a bunt there, showing off the speed, and they're going to call her out. That was a close play right there, but a really great job by the new first baseman, Sierra Gonzalez, who is replacing big shoes of Jalen Simmons. And now that'll bring up Riley Davila, left fielder, and I believe she is a transfer here for the Bulldogs. This is my first game back, folks, so you'll have to bear with me. But Riley, just in the games I have watched her play, transfer from Angelina College, she has, some might say, popped off. I feel like she's done really great so far this season, and she's been fun to watch, hitting .550 in 20 at-bats. That is quite insane. And she's going to chop that one over to the shortstop, and the throw will be made in time, as that is Gigi Rivera over at short making the play. So a quick 2 outs here for the Bulldogs. And, you know, I mentioned the country rankings for these teams here. And, I mean, really, this is a pretty big game, a top 25 game here early in the season when the teams are really just trying to figure stuff out. So it's going to be a good series and a big test for both of these teams. Taylor Vanette is in, and this will take the off-speed pitch from Sosaman down and away for ball 1. Vanette, another one last week, hit 2 home runs in 1 game. She is another one. She leads the team right now in batting average, hitting .571. She's just, I mean, she's seeing a beach ball right now. That ball is going to be hit high in the air, but it looks like it'll be an easy play for Savannah Hankin out in center field. So a quick 1-2-3 inning here for the Bulldogs. No runs, no hits, no errors, as we will now go into the top of the second. We'll be right back. Welcome back, fans, to the top of the second. Caitlin Howard in the circle here for the Bulldogs, facing Sierra Gonzalez, third baseman for the Celts here. And Gonzalez is going to fly that one into right field, and Taylor Vanette will park right under that one for out number one of the inning, as that'll now bring up Viviana Vargas, the second baseman here. And she is a junior this year from Missouri City, Texas, Elkins High School graduate. And she'll take a big hack at the first pitch she sees from Howard on the outside part of the plate. From what I remember from Howard, she kind of works a lot of curveballs, likes to work away from righties a lot. But with that being said, she's also not afraid to throw that pitch into the lefties as well. And then, of course, we've already seen one changeup so far today, but she does have a great changeup that she likes to mix in there, keep these batters off balance. And Vargas will swing and miss at that one for strike two, so a 1-2 count. Coach Frobase in her 6th season here with the Celts, and she's been here since the program started. And, I mean, already she's done such a great job with them, bringing them into a top 25 team. I mean, not only that, they made their second NCAA tournament appearance last year. Vargas, good battle here, coming up on the 6th pitch of this at-bat. This year, the Celts are picked to finish second in the SCAC. Should come as no surprise. We can see Howard, this at-bat, just really going heavy on the outside corner with Vargas. And that one's going to be grounded. A great diving stop by Swisher at short. And the throw not in time, but I really love that effort and showing off the range there from Swisher. And I think that pitch just didn't get off the plate as much as Howard probably wanted it to. But a really great at-bat there by Vivi Vargas. As that one now grounded to the second baseman, Clark. High hop there from Olivia Sanchez, the DP. But she'll move her runner over to second base, so that's a runner in scoring position. As Kiana Johnson comes up, and fun fact, fans, if you know the name Maddie Johnson, played here for 3 years, I believe. This is her little sister. So seeing her little sister compete against her alma mater, and her sister's competing for the rival team. So pretty fun family dynamic this weekend for them. I'm sure they're excited to come out here and support. As she will slap that one into the net for a second foul ball. And just looking, Kiana, she's been in this press box more times than not. Just in her high school days. And she is actually in 9 at-bats. She's leading the Celt team in batting average at .556. As Howard paints the 0-2 pitch on the outside part of the plate. Really good spot. And she will foul that one away. And that's a great battle right there. That pitch definitely a couple balls off the plate and just being able to kind of toss it away, not let the umpire make that call there. And that pitch will miss low from Howard. A little bit of a slap defense here in the outfield, shifted over to the left side of the field. And that one again off the plate, and she will foul it off. What I've liked so far about the Celts is they have made Howard throw a lot of pitches. First inning, she threw 15. This inning, I'd say she's well over 15, probably closer to 20 right now. And they're getting a lot out of her early in this game. And the rise ball will get her there for out number 3. So 1 hit for the Celts, and they will leave a runner stranded as we will now go into the bottom of the second. We will be right back. And here we are, bottom of the second inning. Serena Gonzalez leading things off here for the Bulldogs. And kind of the opposite of Howard, Sosman has not thrown a lot of pitches. She had a good first inning, only throwing 9. Really just attacking these hitters, letting them get themselves out. I don't recall Sosman being a heavily strikeout pitcher. She's normally someone who's going to let people hit the ball and get themselves into outs. She does have 17 strikeouts on the year so far, as Gonzalez will line that one into center field. It's a great piece of hitting there from the senior for a nice base hit. I'm a big Gonzalez fan myself, so seeing her succeed is pretty fun. And here comes number 21, Grace Bracken. She's a junior transfer from Blinn College. A lot of transfers on this roster. A lot of new faces that we're going to learn here this year and learn to really love as well. As the first pitch she saw from Sosman was in for a strike. And a good take there on the inside part of the plate for ball number 1. That ball is going to be lifted into left field, where Johnson will make the first out of the inning. Kind of showing off an arm a little bit, too, on that throw to second. As now we'll bring up the twin to Vanette, Harley Russell. No worries, they're not actually twins, but if you've ever seen them side by side, it can be a little confusing. First pitch she sees from Sossaman is outside for ball one. She'll show bunt and pull it back. Almost looked like it hit her in the hand, but moving along here. And she's going to line that one over to the right fielder, Archibald, who's going to make the nice and easy grab there for the second out this inning, as now catcher Katie Bauer steps up. And let's take our bets now if Katie is a transfer or a freshman. And the answer is transfer. She played at McLennan Community College and then Galveston College. So here for her third year as a junior. Originating from Fulshear, Texas. Don't know if I said that right. And a good pitch there by Sossaman in for strike number one. And Bauer's going to hit that one to deep right field, and it'll be out of here. Call that an Oppo Taco for Katie Bauer. Great piece of hitting there as the Bulldogs take the lead 2-0. That ball really just kept traveling on the way. Archibald running into the fence. It's an exciting ball right there from the junior. I want to assume it's her first of the year. Okay, it's her second of the year, believe it or not, as Swisher lays the bunt down. And they're going to call her safe over at first base. So kind of some momentum here for the Bulldogs with 2 outs here in the second inning. And now we got Bree Jones coming up. Third baseman had the error for the Bulldogs, but was able to push past it and get out of the inning there. And that ball is going to be grounded over to the shortstop. Oh. And they're going to call Swisher out at second. Head coach Wade Wilson has something to say about that, so may not be able to argue that one, unfortunately, on the judgment call. So dramatic fashion, we're going to end the inning there. But Bulldogs able to score 2 runs off of 3 hits as we will now head into the top of the third inning. We'll be right back. We're back here, top of the third inning. Gigi Rivera leading things off for the Celts. And a big swing there for the first strike here so far from Howard. Howard now with 2 runs of insurance. Trying to get comfortable out there on the mound. Rivera, she is the shortstop here for the Celts. Hasn't been hitting too well so far this season. She is hitting 176, but it's still early here. Plenty of time to turn that around. As the pitch there from Howard misses up and in for ball 2. And again, that one missing inside from Howard. So a good hitter's count here for Rivera, as she's now 3-1 with nobody on, nobody out. And that ball's going to be hit high in the air, as Clark will make the call there and the grab for out number 1. That's going to flip the lineup over here to Rebecca Archibald at the top. Archibald made the final catch last inning and did run into the fence, but she appears to be just fine, recovering well. As she's going to chop that one over to Bree Jones at third. A nice soft slap there, but out of play. Or I'm sorry, foul ball. That pitch there from Howard misses up and away, as we'd see the Bulldogs kind of shift in their defense here with Clark standing right to Howard's left-hand side. Kind of some slap defense, take away any small game, and that one's going to be hit over the head of Jones. A really great effort there. Honestly, Swisher almost got it after it tipped her glove. But a great job by Archibald, just kind of playing into the shift and getting a base hit there. So Celts with one of their best runners on base here. As now Savannah Henkin steps in. Henkin reached on an error in her first at bat. As that one's going to be ground to Howard on the mound, and she's able to turn and flip to Clark at second to get the lead runner out. It's a great job there, especially with the speed of Archibald. Don't want to let her, get into scoring position. So now kind of back to where we were in the first inning with Henkin on first and 2 outs. And Chloe Bennett up to bat. Bennett, has the bat that could tie this game up. As that one is going to be up high. And a great throw by Bauer to second base, but Swisher just couldn't hold on to it. I mean, honestly, Henkin, a lot of speed there. That might have been a bang-bang play. Probably a good thing for the umpire that she dropped it. Otherwise, he might have just had to flip a coin on that one. Great changeup from Howard here to move the count now to 2-1. That one's going to hit inside part of the plate. So now with 2s on the board and 2 outs, and Savannah Henkin at second base, Chloe Bennett will try to keep this inning alive for her team. And that one's going to jam her, and Bracken doing a great job of just putting her body in front of that one to end the inning. So Celts showing a threat there, but unable to really put it away as we now head into the bottom of the third. Bulldogs lead 2-0. Welcome back here, top of the third inning. Kaylee Clark leading things off here for the Bulldogs. Sossaman still on the mound here for the Celts, and she's done well so far, only throwing 24 pitches over 2 innings. As Clark is going to fly that one over to left field. It'll be a foul ball, so a 1-1 count here. And Sossaman was a All-SCAC first-team player last year, as Clark is going to lay down the most beautiful bunt there. That's going to be an easy single, as she did notice Gonzalez playing back and just taking advantage of that extra base. And that's just an easy base hit there. I mean, especially with her speed, just perfect bunt. Able to get the job done now as Riley Davila steps in. And Clark is someone we have to watch out here for the stolen bases, as, you know, Clark is one of those that has had a golden shoe already in her career, as we see her take off. And the throw is going to oddly bounce and kind of hit her, and that'll allow her to advance over to third base. Really, that pitch just took a weird hop there, but anyways, as I was saying, Clark is only just a couple stolen bases away from setting the TLU record. Actually, I think she already did the TLU record. We could potentially see her setting an NCAA record for stolen bases sometime this year. So that pitch there from Sossaman misses outside, so the count is now 3-1 to Riley Davila. That pitch there hit high and into the net. And that good spot there by Davila, but just foul. A good look there and a great at-bat so far, coming up on the 7th pitch of this at-bat. And that ball is going to be grounded off the glove of Sossaman into right field. Clark able to score easily, and Davila reaches first base. To be honest with you, I don't know what they would maybe call that. I think if Sossaman didn't tip that ball, it would have been a out made, but I don't know. So I'm going to leave that one blank on my scoreboard for now. But still no outs here for the Celts as Taylor Vanette steps in. Okay, here I am. I don't know why this took me forever. It's fine. But Clark only trails Kelly Jordan by 15 stolen bases, and that is for the all-time Division III record and the TLU record. So I do suspect she's now at 14. So there's a good chance we see this happen this year. It'd be crazy if we saw it this weekend, but you never know. Maybe next weekend. It's Vanette in a nice 2-1 count here. That ball inside pitch, and she'll foul it down the right field line. So 2-2 count here for Vanette. We'll see Davila take off, and Vanette will go down swinging there for out number 1. Sossaman with a great pitch there to Giffinette chasing, but Davila able to advance a second on the stolen base, as that'll now put her in scoring position here for Serena Gonzalez. And Gonzalez is going to hit that one high in the air. Archibald tracking it. The catch is made, the throw not in time. Really a great throw from Archibald. It's pretty a good chunk away. Davila just has a lot of speed there. So 2 outs now with Davila at third base and Grace Bracken coming up. Bracken flew out to left field, and she's going to hit that one high in the air, and it looks like the play will be made out in center field by Savannah Henkin for the third and final out, but not before the Bulldogs can scrap one run across the board, as we'll now head into the top of the fourth inning. Bulldogs lead 3-0. And here we are, top of the fourth inning, as Samantha Crumrun starts this inning off here for the Celts. Her first at bat hit a ground ball to the shortstop for the third out of the inning. So now looking to get things started, as the changeup there from Howard is in for strike number 1. And Crumrun will foul that pitch out of play. So she will go down in the count 1-2. Celts dugout showing some good life there. Lots of energy still despite the 3-run deficit. And really, I think both of these teams have such a great offense. It really could be anyone's game at any specific time. Celts have a team batting average of .358. You know, I'd say that's pretty good for a team. And Howard is going to get Crumrun swinging big time on that one for her third strikeout of this game in the first out of this inning. As now Sierra Gonzalez will come up to bat. And a check swing for her for the first pitch from Howard. And a great inside pitch from Howard will get her swinging again, as Gonzalez quickly down 0-2. Howard, she kind of has a lot of insurance on her with a 3-run insurance policy, and that 0-2 pitch misses outside for ball number 1. That one misses again, so the count will be even now at 2-2 until the Bulldog defense when that pitch called. And the changeup is going to be hit back to Howard. Hard line drive comes out of her glove, but she's able to quickly go over and scoop it up for the second out of the inning. And that ball was hit hit hard back at Howard, but kind of kept her composure while also maintaining a good sense of urgency. So 2 outs here, 2 up, 2 down for the Celts as now Viviana Vargas steps in. And the first pitch she sees will be a strike from Howard. A big swing there for the second strike. The 0-2 pitch will miss outside there from Howard. And the 2-2 pitch is in there for strike number 3. So Caitlin Howard, 4th strikeout of the day, and 3 up, 3 down there for the Celts as they will now head into the bottom of the 4th inning. Bulldogs are leading the Celts 3-0. We'll be right back. And we're back here, bottom of the 4th inning. Harley Russell leading things off here for the Bulldogs. As the first pitch she sees from Sossaman is up and in for ball 1. Russell, last at bat, flew out to Archibald out in right field. Looking to kind of keep this momentum going that the Bulldogs have. It was a great pitch there from Sossaman on the outside part of the plate for strike number 1. Sossaman so far this year is 2-0 with a 3.15 ERA. She has started 3 games, and she has appeared 3 times as well. So she's thrown the most amount of innings as well with 20. She's just kind of looking to continue her career as a Celt. Sossaman is the junior, so she does have 1 more year unless she were to graduate early or maybe transfer, you know, if she ever wanted to come to the Bulldogs. Just kidding. I mean, if she wants to. The 2-2 count here to Russell. That one's going to miss low for ball 3, so a full count now to start off this 4th inning. And the home run hitter, Katie Bauer, is up next. So really, if you know, got to be cautious with who you give up a base to, you know. I'm thinking if I'm going to give a free base, I might make it be Katie Bauer. And kind of focus on getting Russell out here to kind of get things going. And they're going to call strike 3 on Russell there. That pitch outside of the zone, but the umpire said, no, I think it looks good to me. So big first out there for the Celts and Sossaman. Only her 2nd strikeout of the day so far as Katie Bauer comes in. I almost need to figure out more about this Katie Bauer girl. Oh, I think I do remember because she's the one that transferred a lot. Yes. She's a JUCO transfer here. And I'm curious to, you know, if I ever get the chance to talk to her, see how she's enjoying her time so far, you know, at TLU. And just have the perspectives of college softball career at 2 different schools so far, so seeing how it compares, and hopefully if all goes well, she can stay for her senior year here. She's going to hit that one high in the air, and really plenty of room for the third baseman, Crumrin. But she's just going to kind of panic a little bit, to be honest, and that right there falls on the catcher, Bennett. Got to let her know, how much space she has. Get up against that line of the fence so she can really see. As Bauer hits that one to the third baseman, Gonzalez, and a nice strong throw over to first base for the second out of the inning. This is going to bring up now Chesley Swisher. And the first pitch she sees from Sossaman is in for strike number 1. Swisher is a sophomore now from Cypress, Texas, graduated from Bridgeland High School. And a great changeup there from Sossaman. I mean, maybe the umpire blinked. That's what I'm going to go ahead and assume, because that's a great pitch there. I mean, really, you can't ask any more from your changeup. And Swisher's going to kind of foul that one. Going to call it dead ball. I think she might have, foul tipped it onto herself somehow. But she's a trooper. She's sticking through it. She's been really fun to watch her play so far. I love the response right there. She fouls one off of her body that was up and in, and then the next pitch gets ahead of the ball and to foul it away and out of play. So kind of just showing an adjustment there. So 1-2 count here for Swisher. And she's going to hit that off the end of her bat, and Sossaman able to do some PFP for the third out of this inning, as we'll now head to the top of the 5th. Moving quick here. Bulldogs lead 3-0. First pitch swinging there will go to Chesley Swisher over at first base for first out of the inning. That was Olivia Sanchez with the quick work of the ground out, as now number 6, Kiana Johnson, comes into play. Struck out swinging her first at bat. Looking to just kind of switch the momentum here for the Celts. See a little bit of a shift, as she'll show bunt but pull back. That one missing high for ball 1. Johnson, she is obviously a player for us Bulldog fans to watch, as she is the sister of Maddie Johnson. So I think we're all just curious to see what different tools she has in her toolbox. It seems to be just mainly slapping, but also can probably lay down a good bunt. Curious to see her speed and what that looks like. That pitch there from Howard misses low, so a 3-0 count here for Johnson. I'm thinking she's getting a hard take on this one, especially right now, kind of getting later in the game, or you need base runners. And that one will be in for strike one. And the 3-1 pitch will hit the outside part of the plate for strike two. So now we're back even in this count, full count here. That one kind of off the hands of Johnson. That pitch probably was that curveball I mentioned earlier from Howard. She likes to work that in on the lefties, but got her to swing and foul that one, as the count will remain at 3-2. You can see defense shifted over to the left. Clark playing closer to second base. And the foul ball there will bring us back one more time. I mean, even though Johnson got out with a strikeout in her first at-bat, she saw 7 pitches. And right now, this is going to be her 8th pitch of her at-bat. So these are going down as quality at-bats, and she's getting a lot of notes to take back to her team. As that one will be chopped to Jones at third base, and just a quick, easy out for the second out of the inning here. As now Gigi Rivera steps up. She flew out to Clark in her first at-bat back in the third inning. I mean, really here in the 9-hole, you're just trying to turn the lineup over, get you back to the top. And she'll foul that one into the back net for strike one. And that one's going to be grounded up the middle. Nice base hit for Rivera, as, 2-out rally potentially to begin for the Celts here. Lineup turns on over to Rebecca Archibald. Archibald, we saw her strike out her first at-bat, then made the adjustment and had a base hit in her second at-bat. I know earlier when Archibald was up, we saw Clark kind of play closer into the left of Howard, but because of the base runner in Rivera, she's got to stay back, cover the bag for a steal, as Swisher is covering that 5-6 hole. And Archibald will show bunt, but pull back. No movement from Rivera on the base pass thus far. I think if I'm a coach, I'm probably a more conservative coach. I may not want to send Rivera. Don't want to end the early inning prematurely, as that ball's going to be bunted and just lands perfectly. Bauer played it great, but Archibald showing off the speed and a great bunt to keep this one alive. As now Savannah Henkin, she's going to step up and try and keep this inning going here. Reached on an error and a fielder's choice, so looking for her first hit of the day, as that one misses outside for ball one. And that pitch is going to be grounded to the second baseman and Clark, and she will tag Archibald for the third out of the inning. So Celts, they're not done yet, showing some fight left in them as we now head into the bottom of the 5th inning. Bulldogs lead 3-0. All right, bottom of the 5th inning. Here we are. Bree Jones leading things off here for the Bulldogs, hitting in the 9 spot. Looking to flip the lineup over like Gigi Rivera did in the top of this inning. That one will miss low for ball number 2. Just trying to get on base. Jones has reached on a fielder's choice. Well, it was the end of the inning. My score sheet's a little messed up, but she'll ground that one over to the shortstop, Gigi Rivera, for the first out of the inning. And so Kaylee Clark will take her turn here. And Clark will foul that one. So 0-1 count here for Clark, as that one will miss from Sossaman outside for ball number 1. Clark 1 for 2 on the day so far. Just looking to do some damage, get on base, and steal some bases. As a good pitch there from Sossaman is in for strike 2. And the count will now become even here at 2-2. Clark is in her senior season this year, looking to end things on a bang for the senior from Montgomery, Texas. I'm thinking both sides, both teams are kind of experiencing some frustration with the strike zone, and unfortunately we live in a Division III world as Clark hits that one up the middle, and second baseman, that's Viviana Vargas, unable to make the play, but to be honest, with Clark's speed and where that ball was hit, I don't think a play would have been made no matter what. So I'm putting that down as a hit. I don't care what our stats person says, but Riley Davila now up to bat. And Kelts thought that Clark was going, which, great throw by Bennett. That was on the money, but that's what a good, strong leadoff does for your team. She'll go this time, and the throw not in time. So even with the little warm-up throw there, unable to make the out. So 1 out here for Riley Davila. She's now quickly down 0-2. That one will miss outside for ball 1. And really, Davila is she's in a tough position. Anytime you're hitting behind a runner like Clark, you're kind of told to take until she gets to second base, and sometimes that puts you in a hole. But it's going to be no biggie for her as she hits that ball up the middle. The throw will go home. And it looks like they are just going to get the ball back to the pitcher. So a nice base hit by Davila. Like I mentioned, that's hard to hit in a 2-strike count. And we'll see what the Bulldogs do here in this first and third situation with Taylor Vanette up. Looks like Davila will go ahead and take second uncontested as the ball is thrown to Vanette. So 2 runners now in scoring position. That one will miss low from Sossaman. Bulldogs have a good opportunity here to just kind of bust this game wide open, put a couple more on the board with Vanette. She's been hitting as well as she has, as well as Gonzalez. Another great bat behind her. That one's going to be hit in the air to the center fielder. And she'll go to make the throw, and that will not be in time. Both runners advance. So a sac fly there for Vanette will score a run. As we now have 2 outs, Davila at third base and Serena Gonzalez, the DP. 1 for 2 up to bat. Had a great base hit her first at bat back in the second inning, then flew out to right. And she's going to smash that one foul. Davila almost lost, I don't know, probably both her legs maybe. I'd say me and Gonzalez would have a couple choice words in the dugout after that one. But Gonzalez here just looking to get a nice base hit as the changeup from Sossaman misses up and away for ball 1. Curveball there from Sossaman outside for ball 2. And Gonzalez is going to rip that one into center, and it's just going to bounce in front of the center fielder, Henkin. Nothing she can do there. So a great RBI from Gonzalez to extend the lead to 5 now for the Bulldogs. And I believe we're going to see a new pitcher here for the Celts as well as a pinch runner for the Bulldogs. Let me get you both of those numbers if I can. It looks like that's going to be 25. Number 25. Oh, gosh. I'm so sorry. Let me see if I can do this. Elena Marufo. Utility from San Antonio, Texas. So Bulldogs here with 2 outs and Marufo at first base. And let me see if the announcer will say her name properly so I can kind of get a grab. And then pitching, that's going to be Bryn Glidwell for the Celts. So Bryn Glidwell for the Celts has appeared twice so far this year through 2.2 innings and had 1 save. As first pitch, she will throw to Grace Bracken is in for strike 1. And Bracken will foul that one, and it'll trail out of play for strike number 2. Batters are hitting 200 off of Glidwell so far this year. And the 0-2 pitch will miss outside for ball 1. Unfortunately, I don't have any information on Bryn Glidwell in the notes. I don't believe there was anything on her on their roster, but nothing like learning about her here today. As the changeup will now miss outside for ball number 2. Two count, 2 outs here for the Bulldogs. As Bracken will foul that one away to keep this at bat alive. And Bracken's going to ground that one over to Gonzalez at third, who's had quite the busy day. And that will end the inning. So Glidwell able to get out of there without allowing any more damage, but not before the Bulldogs can score 2 more runs to tack on this inning. So here we go, top of the 6th inning. We'll be right back. And here we are, top of the 6th inning. New catcher behind the plate as Chloe Bennett takes that one for a ride. Harley Russell had a beat on it, but Bennett just kind of showing off the power to lead this inning here. First pitch, and she takes it for a ride as now the Celts finally scratch one on the board. I don't even know if I remember if I said anything about there being a new catcher. This all went by so fast. Now catching for the Bulldogs is Taylor Vanette behind the plate. As the changeup there from Howard will miss low to Samantha Crumrin. Crumrin, one of those names where I try to refrain from saying so many times because I get tongue-tied. But she will hit that one into the dugout, it looks like. Luckily, I don't think anyone was affected. And okay, so Katie Bauer is now at first base. We still have no clue who's in right field, fans. I don't know when I'll figure it out, but hopefully we can get you that name here soon. Because we know girls love to be mentioned. They love it. What can we say? We love attention, us females. And the 3-1 count here for Crumwin, and she will pop that one in the air. Bauer making an effort. And a safe little knee slide to avoid going face first into the mats. Might be Ashley, and that is Ashley McMahon out there in right field. Good work to my team here. That's keeping me company. McMahon, let's run a quick little fact check on her. She's the junior from Vegas. What the heck? And a transfer from Howard College. As Crumrin hits a hard ground ball there to Swisher, and the strong throw over to first base for the first out of this inning. It's almost like so much has happened in this inning that I'm having a hard time keeping up, between the home run that was absolutely smashed by Chloe Bennett. Let's not forget that. And kind of some defensive changes, but we're in a groove now as that ball is going to be hit into right field. McMahon able to stop it from getting to the fence, but Sierra Gonzalez able to slide in safely to second base. And so now that's going to bring up Vivi Vargas. Vivi, if you don't like being called Vivi, just let me know like later. But Viviana's becoming a mouthful for me. I mean, just looking out at it already, Howard has only thrown 3 balls this inning. The rest have been strikes, and really, St. Thomas have just shown that they can do it as McMahon dives for that one, is able to keep it in front. Clark kind of turning around and throwing to the first opening, but Celts with runners at first and third here. And, I mean, not a bad jump. That's a tough ball for McMahon to kind of come in. I mean, that's a tough read because you don't know if you want to dive or not. But I think the main thing, and she did do that, is just keep it in front. And you could kind of tell, kind of scorpioned. I think we need to check on her back later. But she kept the ball in front, which is good news always. And, you know, runners didn't really take any extra bases. But we have first and third here now for Olivia Sanchez, as she'll ground that one over to Bree Jones for the second out. So now Kiana Johnson 0 for 2 already today, but just looking. Oh, I'm so sorry. Pinch hitter. Let me get you a number. That's going to be number 32, Anna Zozaya. She's a sophomore this year. I remember seeing her a little bit last year. She is hitting .375. She's had 16 at-bats. This is only her second game where she hasn't started, so maybe she's kind of taking up more of a pinch-hitting role. But kind of like I mentioned earlier, this is still early in the season where teams are trying to figure out their starting 10 and what works best and who's good for what, you know, as far as pinch runners and pinch hitters go, as well as their pitching. So Zozaya just kind of trying to find her rhythm here as she gets a nice little hitter's count to start things off, 2-0 with 2 runners in scoring position. That one will miss low for ball 3. See the wind kind of blowing just a tad bit from left to right. Nothing too crazy. But as we saw from Bennett, you know, wind doesn't really matter much if you're strong. And that one will be ball 4. First walk of the day given up by either team. And I think you have to ask yourself, too, you know, was it a big deal giving up a walk there? Because now you have Gigi Rivera, who, I mean, she has the lowest batting average on the team. She's had 176, but she did get a base hit today. She is 1 for 2. So I think this conversation here from the head coach, Wade Wilson, is just kind of, you know, refocus. You're up by 4 runs. You don't need to do anything fancy. You just need to keep your hitter off of second base and limit these runners that might be in scoring position. As now Kiana Johnson did re-enter, so she is back running at first base. We're going to have a quick discussion here. Head coach Kyla Lockley came out, and I think this might be something to do with the substitution potentially of maybe she didn't officially put Kiana Johnson back in. Maybe, you know, she might have bluffed. She might have forgotten to do it. So I think just maybe confirming here and trying to find a plan of action. And that's why you have 9 different coaches in your dugout. Not really. Sarcasm, obviously, but their job is to keep track of the book, keep track of who's going in, who's not. Because if you can catch a team making a mistake, that's an out. You know, if you don't substitute your defensive player and they make a play, well, now they don't. Now that was a hit or the runner gets on. And same thing with the batter. If they get a hit but they weren't substituted, now they're out. So it looks like a long discussion here trying to figure out what was happening. I mean, the umpires don't seem too serious, but they are going to go ahead and call someone out. I'm going to go ahead and assume it was Kiana Johnson. And so now that's going to end the inning. I don't even know how to mark that as my score, but so Bulldogs able to get out of a pretty gross little jam there as we'll now head to the top of the 7th. This is the last opportunity for the Celts. Or I'm sorry, bottom of the 6th. My bad. And Bulldogs looking to add more as the score is 5-1. Here we are, bottom of the 6th inning. We did get some clarification from our stats lady on what happened to end the inning, but I'm going to kind of catch up with this at bat here with Russell as the count is now 2-1 for her. I believe we are still facing Bryn Glidwell, so all is at least well over here. And for what I am told, how the inning ended was Coach Fro accidentally subbed Anna Zozaya for Gigi Rivera. And so then essentially they hit out of order. And so that's why she was out. And so kind of complicated situation, but just a really good job by the Bulldog staff to recognize that. And typically, as a coach, when you do recognize something like that, you don't say something until you see the outcome. Because if she gets herself out, great, you're out of the inning. And then you can let them hit out of order next inning, and that'll be an out. But a good spot there from Glidwell will put this at bat now into full. So pretty crazy. This is my 3rd year doing this. I haven't seen kind of out like that, at least while commentating. So pretty interesting. But Russell will get the swing there for the strikeout in the first out of the inning. That is Glidwell's first strikeout. As now Katie Bauer steps in. She had the homer back in the 2nd inning and grounded out to 3rd base. And the first pitch she sees from Glidwell is inside for strike 1. And the changeup there will miss. And that'll even up the count here at 1-1. Bauer shifted over defensively to first base. And that one will miss low from Glidwell. 2-1 here for the junior transfer. And that pitch hits the outside part of the plate for strike number 2. So Bauer, she's pretty far off the plate. She did scooch up a little more here. So just kind of making those mid-at-bat adjustments as that ball is chopped to Gonzalez at first base. And at this point, I'm going to count how many ground balls she's had. That's her 4th so far of this game. As I believe we're going to see a pinch hitter. This is going to be UIW transfer. Let me get you her name. This is going to be Natalie Pacheco, redshirt sophomore from Lytle, Texas, and the transfer from University of Incarnate Word. She's had 7 at-bats so far this season with 2 hits, making her .286. And just Wilson doing a good job. You know, I've mentioned it before, but just early in the season. And so if you can put some of these girls who aren't going to see the most playing time on the field and just give them a chance, you know, you'll hopefully find someone who can get into a rhythm and take over a starting spot, or someone you come to really rely on in a pinch hitting or pinch running situation. As the changeup from Glidwell misses high for ball 1. And that one is going to miss for ball 2. So a 2-1 count here for Pacheco. That one will hit inside for 2-2 count now for the sophomore transfer. And she's going to ground that one over to Gonzalez. And it looks like the first base umpire is going to call an illegal pitch there. So she will get another chance. Unfortunately, I missed what illegal pitch she did. And it looks like head coach Angela Frobase is going to go just ask a clarifying question. Although I do believe temperatures are probably boiling a little bit, so we can see the home plate umpire just kind of coming to confirm. So I believe the home plate umpire is saying she replanted her right foot. So her right foot is going to be the one that's on the mound, and so you can't move it forward at all. It has to kind of stay in that pivot position. So just kind of getting some clarifying and, you know, something to be mindful of here and something to work on at practice as well. So now count should be 3-2. And they're going to call her looking on that one upstairs. Second strikeout for Glidwell to end the inning. As we'll now take it top of the 7th. Now this is the last time for the Celts to score and essentially keep this game alive. So top of the 7th now, Bulldogs lead 5-1. Well, now that the 6th inning is behind us, we're top of the 7th inning. Caitlin Howard trying to go to the distance here for the Bulldogs, as this will be Gigi Rivera now officially up, and looks like we are going to see a new pitcher after the first pitch ball there. Let me get you her name and numbers and stats and all that after I take a quick break. And here we go with Jordan Stussy, number 18, on the mound for the Bulldogs. As the first pitch she will throw to Rivera, misses low for ball 2. Stussy is a sophomore from Garden Ridge, Texas, transferred from Southern Illinois. As Rivera will fly that one high in the air, and Clark is able to come over to make the grab for out number 1.
Yes, sir.
And I'll get you the tentative pitch count for Howard here in a moment. It's just, I mean, this game has gone so crazy. I don't know what to do with my scorecard. As now Rebecca Archibald stepping in. She's going to chop that one up the middle. I mean, just right where the defense is not. For a nice little base hit. I mean, she is 3 for 4 so far. And pinch hitting here for the Celts is going to be number 17, Isabella Rios, coming in to hit for Henkin. And the first pitch she sees from Stussy is upstairs for strike 1. And that one will miss inside here to even up the count at 1-1. So a 1-1 count here to Rios, says that one is going to be shot foul. I mean, missing barely by just maybe a foot or two. And so Rios here, 1-2 count. And Stussy will get her swinging upstairs. It's a great rise ball there for the second out of the inning. And that'll bring up now home run hitter Chloe Bennett. Reached on a fielder's choice and a ground ball and then hit the solo shot. And, I mean, really, you kind of just want to be careful with her. I mean, you don't want to give her anything too juicy. You have 2 outs. Maybe you let Crumrin, who is 0 for 3, take a shot. Let her beat you. And I think that's what we're going to see is just a lot of these pitches are going to be really close while also not giving anything too meaty away to Bennett here. And I fear she's going to see this a lot all season. Rise ball misses upstairs. So 3-0 count here to Bennett, and it'll hit for a strike. So a nice hitter's count here to Bennett, just looking for something to drive and keep this game going. As Kelter down by 4. And she's going to yank that one absolutely off the wall. Plot twist as we see Archibald come around to score, and Bennett will stand up there at second base. So a good 2-out RBI double for the senior. I mean, really, I thought that ball was getting out of here, but might have just hung up just a little bit. So now Samantha Crumrin will step in 0 for 3 with 2 ground outs. And she will hit that one over to Davila in left field. And that'll end this game here as the Bulldogs as Bulldogs win 5-2. And we will be meeting briefly here with a on the field post game interview for you guys. So stay tuned if you guys want to see 2 great players from this Bulldogs team. And also don't forget the conclusion of this series as we will be playing tomorrow, 12 and 2 p.m. So stay tuned. Come join us here on Flow Sports for some more fun softball. So stay tuned and we'll be back with those interviews.